Good morning, nation. Running a few minutes late this morning. We got the old. So Keith and Marty were here early today, and apparently the internet decided to go out. That's a few minutes before the show starts. But hey, we're here. Marty, we're here.
We are here for sure.
We're here. So, we both talking last night. We're like, I'm getting to bed early today. Yeah, me too, he says. We both get to bed early. I saw you here at your desk first thing, and in the studio here first thing. I was here too. I go grab my coffee. I come sit down. I'm like, oh, like 2 minutes to the start of the show. Like, oh, there's no internet. What the hell?
It happens to me too. It happens yesterday. I don't know what happened to me.
Yeah,
that was crazy. Yeah.
So I ran on over to the old mechanical room over there and hit the old reset, and it takes a good old 5 or 6 minutes to get the old thing jacked up. But we're here, Marty, and we're here today to talk about bootstrapping a business. Boom, boom, boom. I've done that before. So we're talking about bootstrapping a business, and then we're going to get into probiotics and prebiotics. Marty, are you a probiotic guy or a prebiotic guy, or do you get into that world at all?
Not really, honestly. I don't know much about it.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about it today. Gut health. I have enlisted the expertise of our friend ChatGPT. And of course, we have Enzo. Good morning, Future. What's up, my friend? Good morning, good morning, good morning, Future. Oh, yeah, I see that, Jimmy. I will get that sorted out for you. It looks like Yes, I see that, Jimmy. I will get that sorted for us right now. I got to get us up on IG. Thanks, Jimmy. So, Marty, while I'm doing that, how was your day yesterday, man? I know we were supposed to connect, but I had a few things kind of came up, and I got distracted, and the day got ahead of me, and they got away from me, and next thing you know, the day was over. I watched the Stanley Cup Finals last night. Florida Panthers won the championship last night. How was your day yesterday?
Nice. It was pretty good, man. Just a regular day, Yeah. Went to work, trained my clients, got my workout in, did some reading, posted some content yesterday. I don't know if you got to see what I posted.
I did see some of it, actually. Should we talk about it?
It's okay, man. It was wild. It was wild. But no, I had a great day. It's a regular work day.
Trainers sleeping with clients. CMarty Fit.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Well, I'm just talking about the Instagram post there. I was looking at there. Trainers sleeping with clients. It's
oh yeah, that was a few days ago, I think.
I know. I'm just popping into the feed here and I see it pop up.
Oh yeah.
It's actually a thing, eh?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. If it wasn't a thing, I wouldn't be talking about it.
No, I know. It's a thing everywhere, though, right? What's shaking, Courtney Stewart? Yes, Courtney joins us this morning. Oh, man. Courtney, I was hoping you'd join us one day. Marty, you got to meet Courtney.
Okay.
Former Chicago Cub. Exceptional human being. More importantly, I should have actually led with exceptional human being and Chicago Cub. He runs, and Courtney, if you're listening right now, I want to try to do the best I can. He runs a youth lead center in Atlanta. Marty, he wakes up every single day. Get this mission, man. He wakes up every single day helping young men try to make professional baseball. Like young men in Atlanta, young men within Georgia, he recognized. So get this, man. I had him on the show a few weeks back, and one of his friends says to him, CJ, Courtney, why aren't you doing more about the lack of black men playing baseball? He said, because there's a decline. There's a decline in African-American men playing baseball. And Courtney said at the time, he said it struck him in the head like a baseball kind of thing. He was like, oh my God, I got to do something about this. So as he went through his career, he finished his career, set up an organization in Atlanta, a youth organization. And his mission now, man, he helps young men achieve their dreams. Dude, it's exceptional.
That's amazing.
It's so I invited him onto the show. So I hope he's gonna get up here in a number of weeks to join us for the conversation. But Courtney, thanks for joining in, my friend. Good to see you here in the comments. Enzo, of course, yes, Enzo, morning, and yes, your friend. I am determined and destined, and I'm going to talk about merch in the bootstrapping segment in a few moments. Enzo, about bootstrapping and how all that works. So yes, we're going to get that over there. Marty, a comment for you, my friend.
I like it because I'm a JJ Redick guy, and I'm actually one of the basketball fans who's been watching basketball for years. I remember JJ Redick at Duke. You know, I went and watched JJ Redick at Duke. I watched JJ Redick when Duke played Georgetown. So I know like how amazing this guy is, and he had a great career. A lot of people don't respect him because he wasn't like a superstar, but this is a big time move. I like it.
Interesting. That's really cool. So Nation, we're gonna and slowly over time, weave current events into the show here. So if you got things you want to talk about, throw them on the table for us. Mike McQuinlan, thanks for joining the show today, my friend. I see you in the comments there as well. And yes, his comment, Marty, was what does he say? He says, kudos to Courtney. I agree, man. I'm a huge fan. He's doing great things, and he wakes up with a really important purpose every single day, right? So I know he takes a lot of joy out of helping young men achieve their biggest dreams. And Enzo, yes, I agree. Okay, Courtney, man, you got the official invite. CJ, the future is inviting you to New Zealand to go and crack open the discussion around baseball in New Zealand. Yeah, I guess, Marty, there's not a lot of baseball guys in New Zealand, probably.
What was that?
There's not a lot of guys playing baseball in New Zealand, I'm suspecting.
Not that I've heard of, not that I know.
No, exactly. So, okay, so coming up on the show today, of course, we got the accountability check-in in a few moments. We got the CMarty Fit tip. We have, we're gonna get into bootstrapping. I'm going to talk about what they don't tell you about bootstrapping in business. Marty and I are going to have a conversation. So I'll throw some things on the table. Marty can interview me, ask me some comments along the way. What are the misconceptions? What's it like? Nation, you probably think you know what it's about, but you might be surprised with some of the things I'm going to share with you when it comes down to talking about bootstrapping. And then, of course, we get the CMarty Fit tip coming up today. The hook is research proves it. Hang on that one. Marty's going to talk about, the fit tip today coming up.
Look forward to it.
Yes, absolutely. And then we're going to get into, admittedly, something that, I'm not an expert in. I know Marty's not an expert in, but we live in a world now where we carry experts in our pockets, like ChatGPT and Omni and so forth. And I see your comment there, Marty. Bad echo on my end right now? I don't hear it on my end. Do you hear it?
Yeah, I don't know. I never hear an echo, but I hear it today.
Jimmy, are you hearing an echo on my end, my friend? If you're hearing an echo, let me know so we can get it fixed up here. I'm not sure what's changed here this morning. We got Sarvina joining us here this morning, of course.
Sarvina's back.
Sarvina's back. Good to see you, Sarvina. Nice to have you in the comments this morning. Thank you, Enzo. Dude, I'm loving the fact that we have Nation joining in and giving us feedback on what's echoing and what's not echoing. Thanks, Lauren. No echo as well. That's spectacular. Marty, so what we're going to do today, we're going to figure this echo thing out because Jimmy and I were talking about it yesterday with other guests coming in and getting into the two streams. So we want to get better at that along the way. Awesome, Sarvina. Hey, Sarvina, Marty's coming to town in a few weeks. I got to get your tickets booked, Marts, and we are going to be eagerly expecting some. Yeah, I'm going to use the word expecting, Marty. We are eagerly expecting some Dala from.
I'm looking forward to it. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, too funny. And then of course we are gonna thanks Mike Quinlan on no echo here. So good, guys. We got Nation all tuning in, letting us know we have no echo. The echo is sitting in Marty's ears, but that's okay. We'll figure that out. And then of course we got probiotics and prebiotics. So Marty, there was a number of years ago back, I don't know, maybe 5-7 years ago, Nation, you can help me with this, where all of a sudden we turned on the TVs, Marty, and probiotics was everywhere. Gut health. Right. And it's like, oh, you got to take your probiotics, or you got to take your prebiotics. So we're going to dig into that today with ChatGPT and have some discussion around that. But Jimmy, why don't we turn our conversation? Let's get. Oh, Marty, the creator spotlight today, man. found somebody on LinkedIn yesterday. I wasn't interacting with, but I was reading her content. Dude, she's a business athlete.
She's a business athlete.
Business athlete. She's building something. One might even say similar to what you and I are building here in the Business Athlete Performance Lab. She's doing some really cool things, so I'm excited to bring that to the table a little bit later on the show. Of course, Enzo, yes, tech support from a day ahead. That's the support we get from the future. Of course, and Servina. Hey, Enzo, you could have given me a heads up about 10 minutes into the show that the internet was going to go down. It would have been helpful.
He's not doing his job, man.
To let us know that the internet was going to break here a little bit later this morning. Later this week, Marty, we have Jory Jansen joining us on Thursday. Jory joined us a couple weeks ago talking about junk food and sugar addictions. She's going to join the lab on Thursday to talk about. I don't want to use the word weight loss. I want to use the word.
Body composition, fat loss.
Yeah, I want to find the words that. A lot of people knock on your door and say, Marty, I want to lose my big back. Marty, I want to lose weight. Marty, I want to do this. And, and I'm purposely not using the word diet because the word is, it's an inappropriately used word, I think. Right. So,
I think so too.
Right. So, and it's funny because when I was writing some content up, it's like, adding protein to your diet. No, adding protein to how you eat. I'm just trying to change words because when we think of diet, Marty, I think of 1980. So I got to go on a diet.
That's something that's not sustainable for a long period of time. That's what you think when you hear diet, right?
That's exactly it. I'm glad you put it that way because you're right. When you hear diet, it's like, oh, you said it best. Oh, hey, Marty, I'm going on a vacation. I need you to put me on a diet for 90 days so I can get into shape. Okay.
Not 90, 30. they do 30 days now.
Is that what it is? Oh, I'm going on a vacation in 31 days. I'm getting married in 30 days. Help me lose my weight.
Yo, it's so crazy. Like I've literally had people like, how much weight can I lose in 30 days? or they'll literally just sign up for 30 days. And like, if they don't get the result, they'll be like, oh yeah, I tried him. It didn't work. And it's like, are you kidding me? What am I going to do in 30 days? So.
Yeah. Well, and you know what again, that's Nation, we're about grace, but I'm about to beat you up for a second. Sorry. Hey, Marty's had good influence on me. Marty's brought in the older, edgier Bilous into some of these things, but I got to have grace.
Yeah, we need to see that Bilous sometimes.
Nation, you're going to knock on Marty's door and say, help me lose weight in 30 days. And then you're going to head to Vegas or Mexico for 4 days, 5 days. And you're going to go and put on the 5 or 10 pounds that you lost after spending 30 days and maybe $1,000 with Marty. And then you're going to go on Thursday and you're going to come back on Monday and everything that you've worked for is going to all be gone.
Yep. Basically.
It's actually that simple.
It's so crazy, man. I got stories for days, man.
I know you do. And yeah, and Lauren's of the same opinion, right? Thanks, Marty. She's like, it's not sustainable. And I agree. So, if we have a mission, Marty, the mission of the Business Athlete Performance Lab is to rid the word diet from society. That's what we're going to do. Right. So, Enzo, when I think of diet, I think of fizzy drinks now. They all have diet in the name. It's attracting people to still drink like crap. It's true. It's true. I don't like the word. I don't like the word at all. So we're going to try to not use it as much as possible. It's funny, Marty, because Lauren and I were talking yesterday. She's like, there are some benefits to white pasta, and some people have white pasta because it's easier for the gut. And I'm like, I get it. I understand all that, and I'm respectful of all that. I think from my POV, and I'm suspecting yours as well, Marty, it's just sometimes it's having this attitude of tough love around things that we think we know. Because there's other choices. Don't just have the white pasta. Maybe go try. Like we're not eating pasta from 1928. That's all grainy.
Yeah, maybe let's do half and half. Let's do white pasta sometimes. Let's do wheat pasta sometimes, or the whole grain pasta. I mean,
yeah.
Let's switch it up. You don't have to go 100% whole grain, even though that might. And for most people, that's probably a better option. But let's switch it up sometimes. When we eat oatmeal, let's do it with some fruit and maybe, let's sweeten it with like protein powder or agave, or let's switch it up. Let's not do the sugary stuff all the time. You know what I mean, Keith?
Great recommendations, man. So a great There's somebody getting up to have breakfast right now. Put the sugar away.
Put it away.
Go into the fridge, grab some fruit. And trust me, you're going to thank Keith and CMarty in a month from now.
You'd be shocked at how good that is with like oatmeal with fruit.
Dude, oatmeal and blueberries? See ya.
And I throw a little protein powder in there too. Bomb.
Yeah, exactly.
Fire.
And Mike, you're right. Diet is a 4-letter word. And it's a bad word, man. It's a bad one, and we're working hard to get rid of it here. So I appreciate your comments, Mike. But Jimmy, let's get into the accountability check-in. Let's get into the dance episode where we get to move our body around. Exactly, Keith and CMarty. We got Marty moving. That's it. All right. So today's accountability check-in, Marty. It is. Let me pull my notes here. We are talking on the accountability check-in today about dreams. I love dreams, man. It all starts with a dream. But
it was all a dream.
Exactly. Achieving that audacious goal requires more than dreaming, Marty. A lot of people are like, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to achieve I got big dreams. But hey, it requires more than dreaming. You need relentless, Marty. It's like bootstrapping. You need relentless accountability. Yes. You got to own every action. You can't have excuses. I'm telling you, man, Marty, and you know this, my friend. You've shared with me some of the experiences when you went to LA during the pandemic. Adaptability, it's a superpower, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You got to pivot when needed. I know you had to pivot when you were out there in LA for the pandemic. You had to embrace change. You had to find a way to grow stronger. And I know that, when I reached out to you to say, hey, you want to do some work together? I knew that I had to find somebody that could outwork me and be the hardest worker in the room. Mm-hmm. That's what it's about, right? And talent is awesome. You got to hone it. But remember, Marty, and you know this, man, this is why we jive so well together, I believe. And I believe Quinlan as well jives with us, right? Effort beats talent every single time. And you know what? I'm going to call this out. Last night, the Florida Panthers played the Edmonton Oilers in the Stanley Cup Finals. Without a doubt, Edmonton had two of the greatest players in the world playing last night. Right now, one of the greatest players in the world playing for Edmonton Oilers is Connor McDavid. Without a doubt, the greatest player playing hockey right now. He didn't win last night, Marty.
It happens.
The most talented players did not win last night.
Yep. The
guys that showed up, worked a little harder, the leaders and the Panthers that lifted everybody else up. When the team of the Thrashers thrived, everybody thrived, right? So they all came, they showed up. Consistency over intensity. Marty, you talked about this yesterday. When you're going to the gym, I did a big lift today. Oh yeah, when's your last time back? Oh, I haven't been back in 10 days. Oh yeah, nice.
Congratulations.
Lift. Yeah, right. Nice lift you had 10 days ago. Right. So, small steps lead to big wins. Big goals require intentional action. Be relentless, nation. Stay focused. I trust me when I say this next. You will get there. There you go. Marty, that's the accountability check-in today. Talent is great, nation, but showing up every single day, putting in the work, that's what's going to drive you those results. Because you can dream all you want, but dreams mean nothing without accountability along the way. So that's our accountability check-in, Jimmy. Marty, this morning, we are going to now move into bootstrapping. And bootstrapping a business is what we're going to do here. All right, so. Oh, Enzo, what exercise did I do this morning? I can tell you what I did this morning, Enzo. I did legs today. I crushed legs this morning. I got up. So I'll tell you exactly what I did this morning for Enzo. Marty, I listened to you yesterday, listened to myself yesterday, didn't do a stretch. Went for a little walk this morning, did a little 15, 20-minute walk, got my heart rate up a little bit, got my body moving, and then I got into my big lift, did legs, man, crushed legs. I got under the squat rack, Enzo, did some big squats, did some deadlifts. I did all compounds today. I focused on compounds, and then I finished it up with 10 minutes of core. And then after the show, and after we do some post-production, I'm going to do a climb ride later today. To get the heart rate up and to get my legs doing, because I was supposed to do sled push this morning, Marty, and I got a sled in the garage, but I was like, nah, I don't think I want to go in the garage at 5 o'clock this morning and push the sled. I was like, nah, I'll do it another day. So no sled push this morning for me. So So that's what I
That's
did.
going to happen sometimes.
That's it. That's exactly it, Enzo. That's exactly it. So, and yes, Enzo, you're right. Edmonton was down 3-0, but they still lost to Florida yesterday. All right, let's get into the main segment of today. The main segment of today, Marty, is what people don't talk about when it comes to bootstrapping a business. Marty, when you think about bootstrapping a business, what do you think about when you think about that?
Just, starting from the bottom, building it from scratch, getting it out the mud, and not really having a lot of assistance, maybe whether that's, maybe not a mentor, maybe not getting help financially. It's pretty much, doing it yourself or doing it with your crew, your partners that you start with.
It's true. It's absolutely true. So the common misperception, Marty, with bootstrapping is that it's often perceived as a path only for those who can't secure venture capital, suggesting that it's a fallback option rather than a strategic choice. Mm-hmm. The misconception, Marty, often overlooks the fact that bootstrapping offers more control, making it deliberate and offering preferable choice for many entrepreneurs. And in my experience, I think probably second, third time entrepreneurs, right? So you're like, all right, I want to do this my way. I want to maintain as much control as I can, and not so much, about like me wanting to maintain control. It's more so about, your leadership group, the team of the business maintaining the control of the business, right? Yep. So there's that conception that it's like, I'll use myself, and I'll use myself, Marty, as we're talking about the lab and how I talked about and talked about ICUC, and I'll throw over to you if you want to throw questions at me along the way here. But when Maurice and I started ICUC, the goal was to bootstrap it. Did not want to go raise money, no intention to raise money. And then now as I'm starting BAPL, I have no intention to raise money. So when we talk about the challenge of bootstrapping, massive challenges, my friend. Limited resources, obviously, is the big challenge. You're not out there going to raise millions of dollars to go and fund a big team. You're not going to go and have a bunch of VC, a bunch of investors, and you're doing it on your own. 78%, Marty, some recent data suggests that 78% of small business owners use their personal funds to launch their business, highlighting the widespread reliance on bootstrapping. More bootstrapping happens around the world in businesses, and I think people recognize, because there's this, Marty, glamorization of raise money. Oh, I raised millions of dollars to start my business. Good. How much control do you have left of it? Or how much of the business do you have left of it? Right. So the method of bootstrapping, Marty, really requires a high tolerance for risk and demands. It demands innovative solutions, and it demands a lot of hard work. Now, I will tell you, I think the biggest surprise that people don't think about when they're thinking about bootstrapping their business, Marty, is how freaking hard it is. How much hours one has to put in. And, Mike's chiming in right now. He says, I built Fit Presenter with my modest Peruvian wages. So Marty, let's talk about bootstrapping. I'm not sitting here with millions of dollars in the bank and just doling out salaries to everybody. I'm reaching into my own personal bank account and doling out salaries where I can, right? But being as frugal as possible. But here is the key. And here is what nobody tells anybody about bootstrapping. Are you ready to work 18 to 20 hours a day, Marty?
Most people aren't, if we're being honest.
No, you're right. You are absolutely right. And that is, in my opinion, I think the biggest misconception. And Quinlan, I'd like to hear a comment on this. People think, okay, I'm bootstrapping a business. It's going to be 8 to 5, 10 to 5. And then the evening comes and I'm going to go home to sleep and have, and go back the next day. It doesn't work that way. And I use the analogy all the time, Marty, about owning like a pizza restaurant, right? So, could you imagine going home at 5 o'clock thinking that the day's done, but you have this building over there, you're paying lease on, the doors are closed. And you're like, well, hey, the doors could be open right now. Why don't I have the doors open? Maybe someone else come buy pizza right now.
Yep.
Like when you're bootstrapping a business, you are all in.
Got to be.
No, you have to be. Right. And one of the keys to bootstrapping, Marty, is getting to your most valuable product. But I would suggest it's actually not your most valuable product. What I think you want to get towards as a bootstrapper nation is you want to find your minimal viable customer. You want to find a customer. So when I was starting ICUC, when Maurice and I were getting ICUC going, Marty, we had a customer that helped really fund the growth of the business. We found that first customer. Like, okay, we got a customer here. We engaged with them. We gave them all we could, and they became that prime customer for us that we grew from, right? So we didn't focus on, we had a solution for the market. We found a customer for it, and then we iterated, and we iterated, and we iterated, and we were frugal along the way. If you're starting a business, I believe you want to focus on as much of that the minimal viable product. You want to also focus on that minimal viable customer, right? And Quinlan Marty jumps in with the time wasted in the hours is in the hours between appointments. I could start my day at 7 a.m. and wrap up at 10 p.m. and accomplish 4 hours of work. Yeah, it's true. It's absolutely true. I can tell you, bootstrapping though has immense payoffs. Marty, when we sold ICUC, I didn't have to cut a check to investors. I didn't have to pay back any debt. It was all kept inside of the house. So there is the benefit for it. But what people, I believe, don't want to put in is the time required to do it. A lot of entrepreneurs, no judgment, but wanting and being are two different things. And if people saw the lifestyle I'm living right now, I had a chat with my son last night, and I was like, Carts, I says, dude, I haven't been spending any money going anywhere. I'm not traveling anywhere. I got no vacations anywhere. I'm not spending money on the family right now. Because I said to Carter, because I haven't earned it. I told you this, Marty, too. The money I got in the bank right now is from yesterday. I am building the Business Athlete Performance Lab with you, and I haven't earned it. So right now it's putting in the time. It's putting in the time, 18 hours a day, 20 hours a day, 22 hours a day, and then catching up for a few hours. That is bootstrapping a business. That's why I always say, Marty, if you want to start a business, go climb a mountain first, or go run a marathon. Go hang out with Lauren and go run a marathon. Because endurance training is running a business, man. Endurance training is bootstrapping a business. Marty, comments, questions, thoughts on bootstrapping?
No, I absolutely agree. I think you got to have a level of mental toughness for sure. And that's where the physical comes in, like you just mentioned.
Yes.
And I listen to Andy Frisella a lot. He owns the company First Form, the supplement company I always promote.
Yes.
And he always talks about how he bootstrapped his business. And he he said he did pavement. Like he made like parking lots on pavement. He did some construction. And he did all types of stuff to get the money to fund his business.
Yes.
And so he always talks about he doesn't have any investors. His podcast is pretty raw and straight to the point like us. So he doesn't have anyone controlling him or saying, hey, we don't want you to say that. So he can pretty much move freely, and he has full control, and he can move how he wants to. So I definitely understand the benefits of it, and I get it.
Yes, yes.
And someone like me with my type of content, in my opinions, would benefit from bootstrapping as well. So I love everything you said.
I love bootstrapping, because I've had a number of people saying, hey, Bilous, why don't you go raise some money? Because I probably could. And it's intriguing to me. I've never raised money before. So that whole idea, Marty, of raising money and going through the process and convincing people, that's very intriguing to me. There's no question about it. But there's something about this idea of creating something with frugality. There's something, really intriguing about doing it oneself, right? And that's the thing about bootstrapping too, Marty. I go back to the pizza restaurant, right? If you have a vision for a pizza restaurant, if you have a vision for a pizza, you need to make it yourself before you can show somebody else how you want it made.
I agree.
Right? So, maybe when you're raising capital, you lose some of that vision because you can spend money on having others do things for you, right? Mm-hmm. And there's no judgment on that, but there's something very fulfilling for me right now in this process. And I go back to ICUC. There's something very fulfilling in looking back on going, I remember when that business, Marty, looked like this. It was actually just a blank piece of nothing.
Yep.
To then look back on it today and reflect on what we created is pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool. So there's those benefits from bootstrapping. We've got some more comments, Marty, coming in, but you usually need to put the time in first to set the foundation to get the full results. It's true. And the other comment was, there's a ton of work involved, relationships to build, and then other things come from there. Bootstrapping is the way to go for many people creating a good foundation for a business. And here's the last thing, Marty, I'll hang on before I throw it to you for the CMarty Fit tip. Bootstrapping, ultimately, if you do want to raise money, man, you take the time to set your business up, get your customers in the door, start getting some revenue coming in. People are going to knock on your door and say, hey, I'd like to invest in your business. You have that control, you have that leverage, you have the ability to now take your business to the next level. You've put the work in, people recognize it, they're going to come knock on your door and celebrate you. So we'll get back to talk a little more about bootstrapping, and I'll hang out there. The one big thing I learned when I was building ICUC, and we'll tease it up for the end of the show here. But Marty, let's get into let's get into one of the favorite segments of the show, which is the CMarty Fit tip.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it, pal.
Today's fit tip: even the smartest, hardest worker in the room can't thrive without a healthy body. Better fitness equals more success. Studies show daily exercise boosts memory, problem solving, and mental health. Regular workouts reduce stress, combat depression, and enhance your mood. Fitness leads to sharper thinking and better decision making. And let's look at the trend that's going on with a lot of successful business guys, right? We got Bezos, we got Zucks, we got Dana White, we got Stephen A. Smith, even though he's not a business guy, he's pretty successful. These guys have taken their fitness to the next level. And even, if you look at some of the guys that are doing well on Instagram, Andy Elliott, who's up and coming, his page has been on fire on Instagram. These guys are in tip-top shape. And the thing about getting in shape, it's going to build that mental callus for you, right? And we all know whether you're a successful guy like Stephen A. who works for ESPN, or you're a business owner, you're going to have all types of challenges. You're going to have things come from the left, come from the right, unexpected, and you're going to have to be able to handle those problems and handle those obstacles without losing your mind or reacting in a negative way, getting emotional about it, right? You're going to have to move with some discernment. So working out and getting in top-tier shape, challenging your mental every day, challenging your physical every day, getting that mental clarity, releasing the dopamine, releasing those endorphins. Working out is only going to help with that and translate to your business life as well. So if you want a successful career in life, make fitness a priority, because even the smartest, hardest working person in the room can't be at their best without good nutrition and a healthy body. And if you feel great, you're going to perform great. So do you think fitness is crucial or a waste of time? Let's have a conversation about it. And that's the fitness tip for today.
Bezos. You got Dana White taking his shirt off, who has been doing his thing now for a while there, and so forth. Marty, why do you think there's just been this trend? It seems like in the last 12 months or so around these CEOs who have decided to, get buff or get into shape. Why do you think that is?
I think when you hit a certain level of success like these guys, and these guys weren't in shape on their way to success. They weren't in shape, but I feel like when you hit a certain level of success, and you're how do I explain this? I guess you're used to getting those. You're used to getting the new heights. There's a word I'm looking for. I can't think of it right now.
Yes.
Right. Once you hit $1 billion company or UFC, gets to it goes crazy during COVID. You're the only live sport still going. What's next, right? And you kind of have that itch to be successful at something else or get your business to the next level. But I feel like after a while, when your business gets to a certain level and you're crushing the game and there's no competition, you got to do something personal. Does that make sense?
Absolutely does. Well, you know what? I want to call your buddy Tuned. I was watching your show a couple days ago, and he talked about, he goes like, man, I can put on a nice pair of jeans and a nice T-shirt and go out in public because my body represents all the work that I've put in.
Yep.
And when you look at a guy like Bezos or White who has all the money, they can buy anything. But when you go look in the mirror at your own human, isn't that the true measurement on what you can become for yourself?
Yes.
Right. So I that's why I really, when I heard Toon talk about that, because I'm like, yeah, that's so true, man. Sure, the nice suits, all the expensive clothes are awesome. But when you can walk out into public like Bezos does with just a T-shirt and jeans, and the guy's a trillionaire, but nobody's talking about his bank account. They're talking about what he looks like and his physique and probably what's happening inside.
Yep.
Like that's, in many ways, that's the true measurement of a business athlete and success, right? It's like, who cares about your bank account?
And another thing too, Dana White, before he got with Gary Brecka and got on his journey, they projected him, I guess he was 50, I think he was 52 or, somewhere around there when he got with Gary Brecka. They projected him to have 10 more years to live. So what good is that success? You put in all that hard work and you're done at 62?
Yeah.
It's pretty young.
Yes.
Pretty young.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
that's another thing to think about.
It's so true, Marty. We got some more comments coming in from the great conversation nation coming in with us here today. So I think this is Kelly. Actually, I can't see the name, but there's a ton of work involved. The Harvard alumni study says a lot about the importance of exercise programs, Marty. We learned about it during undergrad at Rutgers, and it's so true. It'll help you in every aspect of life. There's no debate about that. And as we keep building this show, it's clear from you, nation, that you guys are digging the integration of business and athletics, because they do come together. And then the comment, Marty, was it's always crucial. Alex Gorski, former CEO of J&J, used to treat him as a patient and also adjusted his exercise programs for optimal results. I think it's Kelly Lease joining us. Thanks for the comments, Kelly. She's always an active participant in the show here. And yes, Enzo, if you're on a run, you're halfway through and a rainstorm hits, you don't call an Uber, you finish the run and you keep pushing till you get back home. That's like bootstrapping. Right, you just got to keep going. You got to keep going, and yes, Enzo, it's exactly it. You get that in great shape. And even gaming content creators, I remember some of the time being fat, unhealthy lifestyle, sitting in front of a screen all day, and a few years down the track, they're in great shape. At some point in our lives, we take ownership and we grab onto it, right? And you mentioned Bezos and White and that gang. I'm telling you, Marty, there's a resurgence of 50-year-olds these days on the planet. Hi. We're like, hey, we got because you know what happens? I'm seeing this myself. When you hit the 50s in your head, you're like, okay, 50 seems like a relatively young number. 60 seems somewhat older. Love my 60-year-old friends. But you're like, okay, I got the good next 10 years of me to rock and roll. Right? And it's like this energy. It's like this energy that you get. So, yep. All right. Continuing on the conversation, CMarty Fit tip, just get fit, nation. Just take care of yourself. But hey, continuing our dialogue, we started with bootstrapping. I told you guys I was going to, hang out there with and Jimmy. We're going to get into the probiotic, prebiotic conversation here in a couple of moments. But I want to hang you guys with one last thing back to bootstrapping. And Marty, I want to hang out there here too as well. The biggest thing I learned when I was starting ICUC and we were driving it was when you're bootstrapping, you ultimately can't be afraid to make tough decisions because you don't have unlimited money. You're always pulling levers, right? And I talk with our team right now. I talk with yourself and Jimmy and Melissa. You're literally pulling more levers one week, less levers the other week, but you can't be afraid to make decisions because you don't have unlimited money. So as a leader, you really got to hanker down, if that's the right word, and make decisions to move things forward and not be afraid to pull a more lever along the way and do more over here and pull a less lever over here, because ultimately, Marty, when you're starting a business and bootstrapping, you are doing everything yourself, right? Everything. And that, I think, is also what people don't think about, which is, oh, you're doing that too? Yeah, because I have nowhere else to do it, right? Yep. So there's our tips on bootstrapping for today's show on, what people don't tell you about bootstrapping a business. And really the common thread is it is freaking hard. So don't forget about that. Okay, Marty, coming up to the last segment of the show here, Jimmy, we are going to talk, Marty, probiotics and prebiotics. So CMarty Fit, did you know your gut is home to trillions of bacteria?
I did know that.
Yeah. Which ones do you think are truly beneficial?
I have no idea. I'm not even going to guess and get the line up here.
And neither do me, and neither do I. But let's talk about probiotics and prebiotics. So probiotics and prebiotics play crucial roles in maintaining gut health and overall well-being. The probiotics are the live microorganisms, often called the good bacteria, Marty, that restore, maintain healthy gut microbiome. The common sources of your probiotics: yogurt, kefir, fermented foods. But then the prebiotics, Marty, on the other hand, you get the pro and the pre. The pre are the non-digestible fibers. Yesterday we talked about fiber, right? So today, prebiotics, on the other hand, are those non-digestible fibers found in foods like bananas, onions, whole grains. And so they serve as food for probiotics, helping those beneficial bacteria thrive. Now, many people are confused about the difference between pro and pre and which one is more beneficial. So understanding the distinct roles and benefits can be challenging, especially with the variety of supplements and foods available. And like I said, my friend, it seems like over the last, 5 years, everywhere you look, it's like you can't walk through the grocery store and look at the yogurt shelf without seeing that they just injected probiotics into it. Wow. It's everywhere.
Wow, I'm not really a yogurt guy, so I've never really paid attention to that. So I learned something today.
Yeah, so probiotics are live bacteria. They're found in fermented foods or taken as supplements, right? So they help balance the gut biome, especially for antibiotic use. Prebiotics, those fibers that their bodies can't digest, but they serve as nourishment. So you really kind of want to have both, right?
Yep.
Let's talk about the surprising truth. The surprising truth is that probiotics and prebiotics are not in competition, but they absolutely work together synergistically. The symbiotic relationship means that prebiotics help the pro thrive, leading to a healthier gut. Eating a diet, Marty, rich in both can significantly improve your gut health and your overall well-being. Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to leave you with, Nation, we like to leave nuggets here. A key takeaway regarding probiotics and prebiotics is the pro help maintain a healthy balance of gut bacteria, while the prebiotics feed these bacteria, allowing them to thrive. So what you might want to have today, Nation, go have some yogurt with some banana in it. It's going to give you that balance, right? So as you're going through your day today, not having your diet, as you're eating your food, think about a healthy gut. And I'd say that I have not always thought about a healthy gut, Maurice. I have not always thought about a healthy gut, Marty. But I do think about it more often now than I have before. And I will say that as you're going through your day, Nation, be conscious about that. Enzo comes in with, yes, you're getting an extra biology class today at 1 a.m. You're definitely going to pass the finals today, talking about pro and prebiotics here on the mornings in the lab with Keith CMarty Fit, and of course, the future. So Nation, we talked yesterday about fiber. Get your fiber in your body. Marty, what was some of the fiber we should be eating? Yesterday's show.
What was that about the fiber?
What is some of the fiber we should be eating from yesterday's show?
We talked about vegetables yesterday.
We did. What else?
That's a big one.
Your favorite, berries.
Berries was good. Yeah, big one. My favorite.
CMarty Fit. So Nation, go get your berries in.
CMarty Fit. That's a great name.
That's it, man. So CMarty Fit's encouraging to get your berries today. Consider your gut health. We don't talk about gut health enough, Nation, especially men. Marty, men don't talk about gut health very much.
Not at all.
And we both know a lot of men that like to crush the beers. It's fine. Like to crush the wings. That's fine. But don't come bitch to Keith and Marty about how we're feeling after we're crushing the beers and the wings.
Yeah.
Really?
No, you're absolutely right.
Right. So
and when you take care of your gut health, right, you can crush the wings and not feel as bad every once in a while once you learn how to do it in moderation. You know, because I can crush some wings and then I'm right back on Monday eating my vegetables and berries. you know?
Yes, exactly. And Lauren jumps in with plain full fat yogurt, no sugar added, add walnuts, berries, and chia seeds. And there you go.
That sounds good.
Oh, sounds really good, right? But if you think about it, Marty, weaving in yesterday's show to today's show, we talked about fiber yesterday. And right now, Lauren's basically giving us, so Nation, you're tuning in right now. You want some breakfast? Go get yourself some full fat yogurt. Don't buy the no fat yogurt, Nation. Marty, comment on that for a second.
I don't know much about the no fat yogurt, but I can tell you that a lot of the quote unquote fat free snacks,
yes,
they're tricking you. They're scamming you.
It's true. It's absolutely true. Go buy the full fat yogurt, because if you're buying the non-fat yogurt, they're going to throw sugar in it. Go buy full fat. It's not going to kill you. Go add some walnuts, go add some berries, go add some chia seeds. Your gut is going to thank you for it. And trust me, guys, I'm talking to you guys. You heard Marty. Go eat this for a while. You eat this for a while, you're then you want to go sit down and have some beers and wings with your buddies. Then go have some. Don't kill yourself. And then on Monday, go back to having your yogurt stuff again, Marty. And
you should have the same breakfast every day, you know, or you can have 2 or 3 different options, but it should be pretty consistent. You know,
yes.
You shouldn't, and I'm not talking about the same order at Dunkin' Donuts every day. Find your healthy breakfast that you like and just make it consistent, because now you have a routine. And you might go out the night before with friends and have a bad meal or have some drinks, but you know, it's all about getting back on track and living that 80-20 lifestyle.
Yes.
Some people do 90-10. Some people do 70-30. But I think if you could make it 80-20, you're going to be in a good spot. You can maintain the physique that you want, the body composition you want, and the body fat that you want.
Yes. Marty, I'm really glad you brought up this idea of having the same breakfast.
Yeah.
I often think about my dogs. My dogs just want to eat the same food every single day. They think they want to have everything else, but they actually just want the same food every day.
Yeah.
If human beings...
But we're not dogs.
If human beings would consider eating some of the same food every day, they might get some of the kind of results they want to get every single day.
Agreed. That's an issue I have with my clients. They don't like eating the same stuff every day. And it's just, it all comes down to changing your mindset towards food, changing your relationship with food. And you understand that it's fuel for our body. It's not pleasure for our body, right?
Well said.
If you eat for pleasure, it won't be a pleasurable experience when you look in the mirror.
Never thought about that. Dude, soundbite galore. Yeah, if you eat for pleasure, it's not going to be a pleasurable, you know, when you look in the mirror. That's a solid tip. And then of course on Thursday we got George Jansen, nutritionist, coming joining the show to talk about not dieting, but to talk about how to maintain, you know, good food habits and a good relationship with food. And Marty, I suspect in that show we're going to talk about macronutrients. We'll talk about micronutrients, talk about body composition compared to, Lauren and I were talking about it yesterday. I hate people who are like, oh, I need to go work out. Yes, but you actually going to need to get in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Too many people get confused on, I got to go do a bunch of 100 sit-ups so we get a 6-pack.
Yeah, the kitchen's super important, man. It's important. And I think, even myself, I got to do a better job of this, but people in the fitness space or just fit people in general, we got to share more about, we don't feel like meal prepping. We don't feel like working out, right? And that's why a lot of people don't do it, because they don't feel like it. And
yes,
it's not because we feel like it. We have to, right? If
True.
we want to function at a high level for our family, work, business, whatever it is, you gotta work out and you gotta eat correctly. So it's just part of life.
And Marty, going back to your fitness tip, you talked about some of the world's most successful business people.
Yep.
Bezos, Whites, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Zucks these days is jacked up and working out. I'm telling you, he's eating well. He's training every single day. So if your ambition, nation, is to be a successful business athlete and define success how you want, whether that's climbing mountains and tobogganing with your kids at 80, or whether it's making crap loads of money in your bank account, you're going to have more success if you're taking care of yourself in the gym and taking care of yourself in the kitchen and taking care of yourself at sleep time. So
agreed.
Marty Bilous shows up. Jimmy, I did not get to Creator Spotlight today because the internet was down, so I kind of lost a few minutes on today's show, but I do have somebody, and Marty, I teased him at the beginning of the show. I want to bring up this person for tomorrow's show on the Creator Spotlight because I love what they're doing. Admittedly, we might be trying to get their attention to shine the light on them to come look at what we're doing over here in the Business Athlete Performance Lab.
Come on over.
Yes,
come on over.
Exactly. I'm going to show you who you are. They are, and you're going to go, oh, they probably should be hanging out with us over here. I'm like, yeah, they probably should be hanging out with us over here. So, but that's going to be coming up tomorrow. And yes, Enzo Musk. No, I don't think Musk is training very hard.
Yeah, we got to get Musk in the gym, man. we got to get Musk. Yeah.
We got to get Musk.
Can you imagine what he would be like? How much of a beast he would be, though, if he got like super fit?
Dude, he would be a beast.
Oh my God. Yo.
He's a big man to start with, right? He's what, 6 footers? Like, he's a big man to start with.
Yeah. I think he'd be a beast, man. I can see him having a crazy physique.
Yes. Agreed. All right, nation. We are going to get out of here for the day. Our hour's up. I want to thank everybody for joining in today. Kelly Lease, thanks for jumping in. Mike Quinlan, dude, I had this comment with somebody on the weekend, Marty, and I know you can appreciate this too, but we don't say it enough. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to all of you that tune in to Keith and CMarty in the mornings. I want to say thank you to those of you guys that comment on our content across Instagram, across LinkedIn. You guys watch our stuff. You comment on it. I recognize, and I am going to speak on behalf of Marty because I know he's going to be talking about this too on his shows and throughout the time here, but I will speak on behalf of Marty. We both recognize that you have lots of choices to spend your attention. You don't have to give your attention to Keith Bilous or Christopher Martin, aka CMarty Fit.
Yep.
I'm extremely, and I know he is as well, grateful that you decide to spend 10 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour of your morning with us or throughout the day, because you don't have to. We work really hard to create content that is engaging, that we hope you'll find interesting and informative. So when you engage back with us, it is fuel for us to do it again throughout the day and for tomorrow. I'm going to swear right now, nation, so put your kids aside. We don't take this lightly. We don't take it lightly, nation. So we thank you. We're grateful for you tuning in, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and CMarty Fit, with more great conversation to get your guys' day started. We'll see you guys later.
See you tomorrow.